Good evening, guys. Welcome to my channel, Navigator Norma. So, friends, today topic is not very big topic. It's very small topic, but it's very important because I got a comments from my fellow seafarers that I should make one video explaining about Marpol line. Okay. So basically, this Marpol line is also called as a draining line. Okay. So on board the oil tanker, there is one line. So what is the requirement of that line, okay, and why it is used, so I will explain in the uh, in this video. Okay, so let's start the video. Okay friends, so basically what happens on oil tankers, there are a lot of pipelines are given. As a seafarers, you may be knowing lot of pipelines are there. So what happens at the end of discharge, okay, after completion of discharge, whatever lines on deck, we call that these are the top lines. Okay, top lines, then bottom lines, separators, strainers. Okay, all these lines we need to drain properly. Okay, after completion happens, this is a separate line is given. Okay, so whatever oil we are draining after discharge, we are discharging this oil with the help of this Marpol line. Okay, but the connection of this Marpol line is given in such a way that it is connected at the outer side of the manifold wall. Okay, so what happened after completion of discharge, we are closing the manifold wall, and with the help of a stripper pump, we are discharging the remaining drain oil to the shore facility with the help of this Marpol line.
On crude oil tankers.
Okay.
On crude oil carriers, there are three different draining and stripping systems fitted. The vacuum strip system, the stripping eductor, and the stripping pump for line stripping through the small diameter line or Marpol line. Click on the buttons to learn more. Vacuum stripping system. Where does the gas removed by the vacuum pump from the separator tanks of the cargo pumps get discharged to? What prevents the oil in the separator tank from being vacuumed out together with the gas? The vacuum strip composition is a system which is fitted on the suction line and close to each cargo pump. The system consists of a separator tank forming part of the suction line to each cargo pump. The purpose of this separator tank is to support the cargo pump with liquid. The separator tank, one for each cargo pump, has a pipe connection to a vacuum tank located at a higher level in the pump room. Further, the vacuum tank is connected to a vacuum pump. Briefly explained, the liquid level inside the separator tank will fall when the liquid level in the cargo tank becomes lower than the height of the separator tank, and the void space above the liquid inside the separator tank will increase. At this stage, falling pump pressure should be observed, and the vacuum system started. At a fixed liquid level in the separator tank, a signal is given to the vacuum pump to start, and vacuum is created in the vacuum tank. The valve opens between the vacuum tank and the top of the separator tank, and by that, the vacuum effect in the void space on top of the liquid level inside the separator tank will lift the liquid level and assist the cargo pump. The gas accumulation on top of the liquid inside the separator tank will at the same time be evacuated by a separate line into the slop tank. As the oil level in the separator rises to a cut-off point, a signal shuts off the valve connecting to the vacuum tank, and liquid cargo is prevented from being vacuumed up. Assisted by the vacuum strip system, the cargo tanks can be satisfactorily emptied by the cargo pumps. In addition, the suction area for the stripping suction bell mouth on the double-hull tankers is formed as a sump called the suction well, which allows the suction bell mouth to be fixed inside a restricted area and lower than the tank bottom. For further details regarding vacuum strip systems, see separate documentation. The stripping eductor. Why is the stripping eductor specially preferred for draining tanks during crude oil washing? During crude oil washing, the washing fluid is discharged to shore with the bulk cargo. In the final stage of the crude oil washing, bottom crude oil washing for removal of sludge and sediments, the stripping eductor is used, as well as for final draining of all cargo tank bottoms and lines. The stripping eductor is driven by either a cargo pump or a separate crude oil washing pump. The driving fluid and the drainage from the tanks are delivered into the primary slop tank. The slop tank will then be the last tank to discharge with one cargo pump. The stripping eductor is designed to a capacity 1.25 times higher than the combined throughput of all crude oil washing machines designed to be used simultaneously. That is why it is preferred for stripping during crude oil washing. Another reason is that it creates a vacuum continuously for fluid as well as gas directly in the cargo tank, if the tank becomes dry temporarily and gas pockets form in the suction pipe. A stripping pump would stop and start, and a vac strip pump would need a good quantity of oil in the pipe. When the crude oil washing is completed, the after crude oil washing checklist is to be completed. When finally stripping the main cargo lines, why should inert gas be allowed to enter from a cargo tank at the highest point of the manifold? When the slop tanks are empty, the bulk discharge is completed and the manifold valves are to be closed. The final draining of the vessel's cargo pumps and lines in the pump room and on deck shall be carried out by means of a stripping pump, normally a steam-driven pump, which can deliver the remaining oil to shore through a small diameter line, also called a Marpol line. This line is connected to one of the manifold lines and outside of the manifold gate valve in order to enable direct discharge to shore after the manifold valves have been closed. When the final draining through the small diameter line is completed and its valve at the manifold is closed, the remainder in the same line is dropped via a small branch pipe to the nearest cargo tank. The discharging operation is completed. When draining the main cargo lines, it is important to break the vacuum caused at the top of the manifold by the stripping pump taking suction at the lowest point of the pipelines. For this purpose, a 2-inch line with a gooseneck is provided from the highest point of the manifold to the inert atmosphere at the top of a cargo tank. The valve in the line should be opened to break the vacuum during final line stripping.
And now you may be asking that what is the requirement or diameter of this pipeline? Okay, so friends, as per the Marpol Annex 1 regulation 30.4.2, Marpol says that the cross-section area of this line, it should not be more than 10% of what? 10% of main cargo discharge line. Okay, so friend, this is the Marpol line. Basically it's not a big thing, but it's very important because every oil tanker is provided with this Marpol line. Okay, so that's it. This is the video regarding the Marpol line. Hope you understand, and in future if you want anything you can just put a comment, so it will motivate me to make more videos. Okay, so thank you. Bye bye friends.